Everybody, we are live at a glass factory in China. Glass is a great tool for making tea, and we get a lot of our glass also here from Dehua as well, the same city that makes our porcelain. They also got all sorts of glass stuff that's, finished up here. We're going to be in the stream now. People are going to be coming in about a day, in a minute or two, so around here for about a minute. 我们大概等1分钟，1分钟以后就是有人进来。然后我们就可以开始给他们看一下。我们介绍一下这个陈老师，就是那个陈老师。This is Mr. Chen。所以你在这个工厂已经几年了？12年了。12年了。So he's been at the glass factory for 12 years now, and he's going to be helping us, taking us around, showing us the place. 我们一会儿可能有观众有问你像一些跟玻璃有关的问题，如果可以帮我们回答，可以帮他们多了解一下。So very cool. Yeah, no, 我给你翻译。So saying we're gonna be helping, taking around. If you guys have any glass questions, glass blowing questions, we'll be able to show you guys here in the factory. They're making the glass. I also will be making a short video at some point, so I'm gonna give the phone away for some portions. And before anyone says it, yes, I got really badly sunburned. I'm just sunburned as hell. Look at that. Look at that, people. Oh, this is the real stuff. That's the real stuff. But, that's the way it works. Marcus Jones says, love the latest box. Thank you. Good job, T-Team. Hong Hong and Alex are our workers on our T-Team. Hong Hong did all the graphic design for the products. Alex is helping us with the coordination, logistics, and finance. Boom. It's a good time. All right, so I think we're ready to get going. There are some people coming into the room and ready to start going. So 我们看一下。好嘞，所以这个你觉得去哪里看比较有趣？流程，那这个流程我们拍一拍，从头吧。好嘞，所以这个可以啊，切口是吧？ So yeah, so the first part is cutting the glass. There we go. So he's saying that this is the original. This is the original way that it arrives in the factory. So it arrives in these big cylinders, and the first step is to cut them. Let me know if, by the way, if you can hear me, because it is loud in here. This is probably not a very pleasant experience. I should have brought my headphones. But we're doing it good. This is a glass factory. We're looking at right here. 所以这个第一个就是切口是吧？所以这个切，它那个原材料你怎么？所以他为什么就把剩下的就碎了 ？Yeah. So he's saying that so here we go. This is what we want to be filming. The glass worker takes this big long piece of glass. Here we go. And he cuts it on the cutting machine. And then puts it over there. That's the first step. Very cool. Next, these are all piled high. See if I can get a good angle for you guys. All right. Next. 所以这个是什么？削口。我们这个切开不是很利吗？这边刚切开。哦，很利是吧？对，然后我们不能开水。就是它会融化，然后就变成软一点，是吧？所以这个。 So you're saying the second step here is that when they cut the glass like that, it's very sharp, and you cut yourself if you had any. So so what they do then is they heat up the glass again to kind of just melt the edges and make it round and soft again. Very cool. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Let me show you guys here. I need to get one of these flames for my home. Here, can you help me also host? I'm going to be hosting while we finish filming a short video. But let's go over here next. So 这个大概是要烧到几度？烧到1000多度，这 3 Celsius in the fryer. Pretty cool. Very cool. Yeah. You said these machines are doing the same thing. Similar sort of thing, different way of doing it. If you can see here, yeah, the edges are really sharp before they do this. The video is probably not good enough for you to see what's going on, but we'll figure out a way to do that. Very cool. Is that they need to make the bottom. So it comes in a cylinder, and what they say is that they heat the middle so that then you can separate them, and that actually causes both glasses to have a bottom, which is what they want. So this one already went through the process, so it's round now. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So after the heating process, that's what they use. Very cool. So, the next step. This would have been better if I had made a mic or something to cut out some of this background noise. Oh, that's cool. 所以这个圆形这个做出来了以后，然后用那个轮子上来，把这个嘴做出来。Oh, that's cool. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to show you guys what's going on. So this machine is really cool basically all the changes to the shape that need to happen get blasted on the machine. So I'm going to show you right here. So this is what they're going for at the end. See how it has that spout? The spout right there? So this machine can make all the different shapes. It first blasts just that part of the glass, and then that roller comes up and rolls the spout. Let's show it one more time. It blasts the bottom of the glass, and then they roll the spout. People are asking why I'm here. Our tea sets have glass pitchers in them, and we have glass cups on the website, double-walled glass cups. This is where we get our stuff from. So I'm here for a couple reasons. One, I'm just curious. I like seeing glass being blown. Two, these are the people that make the stuff that you guys get, so we want to be able to make sure that they're doing a good job. And also, it's good for quality assurance for people to know that, like, the boss shows up every now and then. So it's pretty cool. Hope that's interesting. One more shot of this. Very cool. Boom. Roller comes up, rolls, and then they got it. Very cool. Very cool. There you go. So these machines have different settings, so depending on what shape you want, they can kind of create all sorts of different shapes. And in some ways, this is actually the hard part for me, is once you get to the factory level, we can kind of make anything we want, which means that we have a lot of thinking to do. In the very beginning of the shop, a lot of the stuff I would just go to my friends here and I'd say, what do you already have? And then I'd get what they had. And now we're actually closer than we were 3 years ago to the source. We've done a lot of work. And so we could design everything from scratch if we wanted to, but then that would be in a lot of design work, and like it's a cup. We don't necessarily need to design everything from scratch. So trying to figure out what I really feel is important to say, like, I want this type of tea experience. It has to be specially made, versus saying it's glass, it's a cup, I don't care. I'm having to make more of those decisions now, but that's good. Let's continue. Very cool. So she's sticking on the thing on the side of the pitcher that shows you how high the water is. So the measuring part of the pitcher, she's sticking on there right now. And then they can attach this with the different ways of doing things. Oh, very cool. So take the camera back here. Very cool. So the workers here are putting on different patterns and also the stuff into the different glass, like the measuring parts of the thing, the glass part of the thing. See the different patterns that are being added on. 以后这个要那个纸要烧了吗？还是就直接贴上来就
跟那个窑一样，那条长长的那个像烧陶瓷一样，那个烤花炉。
所以这个会把那个纸烤没了是吧？
对，就是这个是成品，它。
Yeah. So this is what they look like afterwards once the paper has been burned off. So the sticker is still there, and then the rest of the stuff is gone. Very cool. So you're saying that this one here, they have this area where they're going to put the handle on. So then you add on the handle and you can carry it around. So the handle's not made of glass. So you take a then you're going to put a wooden handle on there, and then you have this combination wood and glass thing. I really like how they do this. So keep going. So this oven here, once they have enough pieces of glass, they put them through the oven and it burns off the rest of that sticker paper, so only like the image is left. So that way they have like just what they want on it and nothing else. But they're not running it right now because the workers are putting together this stuff. Eventually they're going to run it. There's more stuff over here. Let me know if you guys have any questions you want to ask our glass boss over here. How hot is it there? So, somebody's asking how hot is it here. It's actually totally fine. It's basically the same temperature as it is outside. It's not actually hot in here because the flames are really intense, but they're not everywhere. It's just like right on the. So you say. Yeah, so you're saying that they would, that they can take different types of glass and then attach them together. So this is like a colored glass, and the colored glass handle they get separately. Yeah, he's saying we can make that in many different colors in the handle, and then they bend the handle and attach it to the clear glass, so they can have different types of glass. Very cool. Different types of color options that we can get here. Yeah, things like one is called light green and one is called. Oh, sorry, I think we're back where the internet is kind of crappy here, but Casey Cage asked any arsenic, so 我们问一下这个。他们这个玻璃，它会不会有重金属的问题？
没有，都经过那个权威机构检测过的。
对，检测过的是吧？
这个叫高硼硅玻璃的。
高硼硅玻璃。So he says this is a type of glass. The glass is tested before it comes here, and it has no problems with it with lead or arsenic or any heavy metals. They test the glass and the shipments that they bring in, and then they only use them if they pass the inspection. 所以这可以了。还有人问的就是一天大概做几个作品？可以产出几个产品？
像这种我们一天就大致可以2000个。
对，2000个一天是吧？
对，没错。
So you said that they can make about 2,000 of those, and if they're doing it, 你同时产很多不同的产品吗？还是你做这个产品呢，就专做这个，以后就没单子去别的？
我们做的产品很多，就是这个哈，我们如果单单做这个，一天可以出2000左右。因为我们工厂有40几号工人，今天刚好6一儿童节，人家学校有一些表演节目。
是吗？是表演，对，哇，这。So you're saying that they can make 2,000 of those. Normally they'll be making many different products at once. But today it's Children's Day here, so a lot of the factory workers, the ones that have children, are all off with their children playing and doing stuff today because it's a vacation for them. So this is a pretty slow day for the factory. And it's good they get Children's Day off, which is cool. Dan asked, how is the ventilation? I don't have a problem. There's not actually a lot of gas or weird stuff in here. I mean, they have a big door here. There isn't any other major ventilation system, but there's not, I mean, there's windows everywhere. It's not hot in here. It's you might think it's hot because they have all these like ovens and stuff, and maybe if they're firing these giant kilns, it's going to be hot. I don't know. But right now, it's not any hotter than it is over there. So, very good. That's one round head. I think you're talking about this guy, probably. 这个真好，可以了。
这个就是烧玻璃，自然的氧气。
那阳气是吧？是用阳气是吧？
氧气跟天然气结合起来。
Oh, okay. So this is cool. So this is a giant oxygen container. And this, what they do is they mix natural gas with oxygen, and that's how they create the really, really hot flame. 所以我们就看一下这个天然气。
这是氧气，氧气。
氧气，这是氧气。
对对对。
然后还有天然气是吧？所以这个氧气在这儿 ，very very cool。看一下 ，very very cool。可以了 ，very good。
因为今天刚好明天的放假，学校很多
Yeah.
很多家长都跟
对。Yeah, he's like usually this is we're actually much busier than this, but because of the Children's Day, most of the parents are out with their children and they're not here at the factory. Oh, Yangqi, look at this, how cold that is. Whoa, so this is the liquid oxygen and it's super, super cold. Wow. He touched it and it just immediately frosted back over. That's pretty cool. Yeah, liquid oxygen. Very cool. Don't touch these. Don't. So this is the Yeah, so this is the handmade area. So for certain products that are higher quality, they have the option of making part of it by machine and then finishing it by hand or making the whole thing by hand. This is one of the things I figure out about making stuff is that almost nothing in the world is purely handmade. Like literally they dug the material themselves and built themselves. Machines are always involved in every part of a process if you're making something that winds up in people's doors. It's just like the world is a complicated place now. But which parts of the production you want to do by hand, it's almost an artistic decision. And so that's part of the things we think about is like, hey, we can get this handmade, we can get that machine made, bring the price down and then add a piece of hand labor. Or we can say like, we want to make the whole thing handmade, but it's going to cost you $1 bajillion. Deciding which parts to do what and what's important to do by hand is kind of almost like a philosophical thing. But we'll continue here and see what he's doing. Very cool. So you can see he's got the pipe in his mouth, ready to be able to blow. He keeps the glass out and then blows into the glass through the tube. Very cool. 所以一般来说，这个工人要练多长才可以做这样的？So Chen Lao is saying that it takes at least 5 years to be able to learn how to do this right. Very cool. 所以他们怎么练？
他们这个平常拿一根杆先转，前面挂的东西，放那里放好，
这个玻璃就会坏掉很多。
对，前期要投入很多成本慢慢练。
They said the boss is like, it's actually a big investment to train a glass blower because not just their time, but they break a ton of glass while they're learning. Like they need to try and fail and try and fail and try and fail, and they break a lot of glass, and that can be recycled and blah blah blah. So it's 所以这个就是这里的这个厂，它主要就是这个厂的人，他们主要是本地人嘛，还是外来？
我们有成立外地的出来指导嘛，这个让他那个做出来，开始我们下面这部分，上面这部分。
A lot of the glass blowers are locals, but they will invite other experts in to teach the locals how to do it. And then once they're able to do it, they separate into parts. So this guy is making glasses. They have these big bulbs. He makes the bulb for this part, and then the second guy will heat it up and cut off the top. So that way. So you see he heats it up until it melts, takes it away, smooths it off, and then that's how you get the really good finished product over there. People are saying my afro is looking good. I feel like I just cut my hair. I cut my hair in like May. It just gets big like that. I don't know what to do about it. It's just, especially if it's hot, it just gets big. All out in the same direction. I'm not trying to do this. I'm not trying to do anything, man. I'm just trying to get through the day. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. 所以到这里就是那个产品就结束了吗？
没有，还要再接个把手。
还有这个把手。
对。
OK。看一下。He's like, we still need to add on a stem or a thing over here.
把手的机器。就是
把手的，我给有成熟的作品吗？ You said there's one more step here.
这个把手。
Oh, I see.
这个是把手。
对 yeah. So he's like, the last step would be if they want to add a handle on, they would add a handle.
接上去。
对。所以这个就是后面有两个结块的，这个成品了。
这个是成品。
Very, very cool. Very cool.
我们这都做。
对，做茶海是吧？So this is a 公道杯, yeah, 公道杯, to be able to other thing. Dan said, I bought your blue white porcelain set. Is this a factory that was made? This is the factory where they made the glass. The porcelain is made in another factory. But they're all in this town. Like the guy that I'm here to watch, we're gonna go to the porcelain, like we're doing all the porcelain and the glass stuff together. It's definitely a fun time. This guy is fixing the machine. This is cool. So this is a machine that adds the handles. 所以他们就把这个把子拔好，然后再加热，然后他自己
接上去的。
对。So basically, this guy has this machine that attaches the attaches the handles by being able to heat up the cup and put them on. Although I'm not sure if he's doing it now. He's kind of fixing the machine. You can see the machine here. He's kind of fixing it and trying to get it to the point where it's working. That way they can attach the handle and the pot together. Very cool. Anthony Scott said, this is the only time working nights has helped me out. Yeah, you get the best times for my crazy China time streams. When we can, we try to do a stream at a time that works for you guys. But like, you know, the glass factory is not open at 3 in the morning, and I'm not waking up at 3 in the morning to live stream a glass factory. But this is pretty cool. Pretty cool. Very cool. Look at that. So cool. Selena asked, what nation is this? We are in China right now. We are in Dehua, Fujian, China. This is where my tea website, I run a tea website where I do tea equipment, and all that stuff. We have glass, we have porcelain. This is the city it's made. I came here to China last year to inspect the factories. I'm doing it again. You know, we have experts here like Alex, who's helping us find these places, find the right bosses to work with. And it's like one of these things, it's like a good boss is gonna want the customer to come and see what's going on. People are asking, is it acetylene or propane in the torches? They said tianranqi, which would be natural gas mixed with oxygen. I don't know whether that, you know, maybe they're making it too, like simplifying it for me. Maybe it's a more complicated chemical, but they told me it was natural gas and oxygen. Look at that, that's pretty cool. Ooh, still hot. Ooh, still hot. And now it's cooling down. But these are still quite hot, so you don't want to touch the ending glasses. Very cool. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. There you go. 我们有去哪里？对，3楼. We're going to. Oh, 可以啊. We're going to go to the 3rd floor where they have a display area of all the different types of glass stuff they can make. That's pretty cool. Yeah. 可以啊，人工可以啊。We're going to go first over and check one of the workers. I'm not sure exactly what he's doing. They're saying here. Hey, 你好. Wow. 所以这个是 another type of handmade thing. Hey, whoa. Sorry about that. Boom Busak says, hi, what's up? I need advice. What tea would you recommend me? I like oolong and green tea. That's right. For the green tea, we have 4 new green teas that are launching in less than like 2 weeks. They're already on their way. The green tea sampler you can get on the website now. It's a pre-order, but they'll be delivered in the 1st or 2nd week of June. Those will also be available individually by the 2nd week of June. For the oolongs, we have an oolong sampler we're still working on. That's going to take another month or maybe a month and a half to get to you guys. But those oolongs are all really good. And in the meantime, we have an Iron Goddess of Mercy oolong on the website, which is really, really good. I like that, good. Nicholas Turner asks, in your opinion, how much does the quality of a good quality tea set and equipment expect the overall experience of enjoyment from tea? Love from South Africa. Hello to our friends in South Africa. Yeah, so he's gonna put on the handle now. But the answer to that question is, I think it depends. If you see tea as a experience and you want to be able to have your friends over and really, or even just by yourself, enjoy the process and make it more about the whole experience of drinking tea rather than just a drink, I think it's really worthwhile to have some good tea equipment. But it's not like buying an $800 teapot is gonna make your life instantly better. Okay, here we go. Here's the handmade stuff. So he's got to have a lot of control, I suppose, in order to get this on and not burn himself. Wow, look at that. Yeah. So he said this is different from the machine. This is all handmade. So adding the thing by hand, he's heating up just the part there that they're going to attract the thing. Yeah, the teaware too, pottery. AMT Troopers behind the scenes for the glass, the teaware. In the words of Dracula Flow, I really do this shit. Attaching on the handle over there. Wow, this is cool. Very cool. Awesome. Bam. Jossie said, thank you for inspiring us to serve tea. I've already spent $1,000 on my collection. Happy to help get you started. You probably got some good tea. Hopefully you tried some of ours at some point. If people are just getting started on tea, reminder that I'm not actually a glass artisan. I run a tea website and a tea house online, and you can get tea equipment, including the glass that comes in our tea set, comes from this factory, and you can kind of show how that's done. Very, very cool. 很不错，哇！所以你觉得这个手工做货的工人和这个普通的工人，他们的工资也会差很多吗？
会差很多。
对，你就是大概几倍？
那边正常1天200人民币。然后我们如果是干这边的话，是500。
哇，500人民币，哇！So he says the workers here. I asked him how much money the workers make. He said a normal worker would make about $35 a day or something like that, but the skilled workers that are doing everything by hand, they make closer to $80, $85, or $90 a day, which is still not a ton of money, but for this part of the world, it's pretty good. We're getting an elevator, so we might lose you for a moment. Hopefully we don't lose you. A Chinese elevator is always just have like random. Still here? Are we still here? I think I'm back. Very, very good. There we go. Very, very good. 这个包里都有是吧? So this is their display area. So they have all of these different products that they're able to make, and so these are things that they made before. 所以这个公司是曾经产过这所有的产品是吧？
对，这都是我们公司自己做的，
哇，
做了10几年了。
哇，所以这个就是每一次有一个新款就会留下来是吧？哇，so he says every time they make a new product on the shop at the factory, they keep at least one sample of it so that they can show everybody what they've made, all the different styles. 哇，这是真好。这个是不同的颜色的玻璃，还是玻璃晒黑了是吧？
不同玻璃颜色的。
所以就是拿的原料不一样是吧？
不一样。
So like for a darker glass like this, he says they start with a different different color glass like over here. Xavier said, made live drinking Dui 2010 like always. 2010 Reserve. I'm telling you guys, it's good. If you haven't tried it, try the Duidui's 2010 Reserve on our website. It's, I think, probably the best quality show pu'er we have on there right now. Very, very cool. 所以然后这个技巧是怎么做的？喷砂的是吧？所以这个沙子都会。Oh wow, very cool. So this is sandblasted glass. Ooh, it feels nice too. I'd be interested to see what tea looks like behind that. They blast it with sand and it creates that effect to it. I would actually love to see what tea looks like in that. And then that's the putting stickers on them. Wow, very, very cool. We have questions. Anthony says, do workers have input on the design of the glassware? I'll ask him. 这个平时工人对那个什么玻璃的设备有没有什么看法，或者他们就来就是告诉他们怎么弄就弄？
对，我们这边有一个传统的老师傅，他可以都新人来入职了，我们培训他，然后根据我们跟外面的一些机械厂的一些工厂，研究一些新的设备出来。像我们有长期配合的一个设备厂，搞机械的对，玻璃机械我们会慢慢研发。
So he says if there are new workers here, they go through a training process, but most of the to be able to make the stuff, but most of the design of the glass is a company that they've worked with before. So they have people who are like glass designers. They understand the glass, what can and can't be done with it, and then they are usually the ones who have the input on the stuff that actually gets made. Very, very cool. 所以这个非常棒。对，还有是吧？我们问一下我们的同学或者我们的同伴，对你们这一款有没有一个特别喜欢的吗？ I was asking what do you guys like？ 这老板有没有一款特别喜欢的吗？你这个对你说你自己觉得你的工厂做的最好的东西，里面的有all right. So I was asking him what was his favorite thing they've ever made, and he's like, it's not here. We got more. So 这个我们根据一下 office workers. There we go. Very cool. Storm asked what type of tea we have. We do Chinese teas almost exclusively, Chinese and Taiwanese. We have red tea, we have black tea, we have oolong, we have pu'er. If you're new to the site, I recommend you look at our AT sampler. That is the one. That most people try. You have 8 different types of teas. So 这个是 wow.
就是上面这个是那个
So he's like, this is a popular online product now that they've sold a lot of. So 这个是彩色玻璃是吧？
对，彩色玻璃对。
哦，是一个回收的玻璃是吧？ So this is and this is all made from that's a recycle bin. 是回收的玻璃还是长得像回收那个回 This is a recycling box.
做出来的。
做出来的 yeah.
五角星的这种。
He's got all these different styles. I like the recycling bin cup here. 这个管子也是玻璃是吧？ And the glass straw. That's really cool. Very cool. Sampler is great. When they have it in stock, you got to jump if we do. We have a bunch of them in stock. We made a bunch of them. I hope they're not going to run out because I haven't been looking at that number. But we have software now that's supposed to tell me if we're running out. We'll see if it happens. Very, very cool. All different types of glass. Wow, very cool. 所以这个很高级，我觉得 I like that's pretty classy. I think you got I like glass a lot. I mean, wow, this stuff is really cool. 所以这个都是怎么做出来的？这些东西了。
这个都是压制出来的，一个把原材料什么烧融化，放到一个模具就压出来，然后一直甩出来，一个下面一个机器把这个甩。
它会把那个料就是那个
甩到旁边去的。
所以原来是这个透明的料加了一些东西，然后哇 ，very cool. So they say for these, what they do is they start with clear glass. And then they add whatever the color element to it, and they have a machine that goes around in a circle and spins it until it winds up putting together the arranging it evenly distributed around the entire thing. These are really cool too. I really like this sort of sandblasted colored glass thing. That looks pretty cool. Oh, thank you, we got my team looking out for me with the water. 谢谢，弄得这个非常好。And then over here we have some teapots. These are pretty cool. You got some glass teapots. This is cool. So glass, sometimes you can put glass on that's a candle holder. So you can put like a candle in there, and then you can heat the glass from underneath with like a what do they call it? Not a votive candle, like what do they call those little circular candles in English? I forget. 那小蜡烛叫什么？它有一个名字，我忘了。I forgot how to say the name of that candle. I'm losing my mind. I don't know. Yeah, I think they are called tea candles, aren't they? Tea lights? I think they are called tea candles, right? Yeah, there we go. How am I forgetting that? I think I would know that. All these different types of glasses. 所以这些。比如说我们那个楼下的那个员工做那个手工的这个杯子，这些都是手工的吗？还是这个形状也是可以是机器做的？
机器也可以，但是如果说客人对品质要求比较高的，我们都用手工做。如果说大家都可能品质要求不那么高的情况下，我们会上机器。有没有量会比较大？对，你觉得那个你这里有例子，这个手工哪个是手工的，哪个是机器做的？我们看一下这个区别。He's saying, I was asking about these because they were making these by hand downstairs. So I was like, can you not make them by machine? And so he said, you can make them by machine, but if the customer really wants a higher quality, they can make them all by hand. So now he's trying to find me an example of one made by machine and one made by hand so you can see the difference. 所以这个是 这种我们因为产能比较高，这种基本上没什么次品，成品力很高，这种是机器做的。那像这种很多就是人工吹的，很透很亮。机器那个什么老师傅，什么8年了，干这个的是那个8年了，8年做出来做出这种品质，新手是没办法做出这个。对，哇，感觉很亮很透。对，
so he said that like for instance like this, so this is something that like the machine makes. And it is clear, but it's not as clear as this one. This is made by a guy who has been working for 8 years, and he's like, this is one of the masters here. And that sort of like clarity and quality is hard to get if you do it by machine. So there, but there's, 所以这些都是手工做的吗？还是有部分的是？
上面这层都是手工做的。
She says all of these up here are made by hand.
然后像这种这种也是机器做的。
And that's made by
这个是麻点的。
And then yeah, he has a different texture on that, but that's machine made. Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
像这种，如果我们后期加
And then the pastel colored, yeah. Xavier said that 有粉丝说这个杯子很酷，the frosted glass was sick with the pastel colors. That's really cool. 哇，这个很有趣，这个给你了啊，谢谢。你是不是经常会砸碎玻璃？因为这个工厂是不是也很经常就砸碎玻璃，还得清理掉？还是这也
回收给那个我们找原材料买的时候，他要顺便车拉走了。
他们
玻璃
对。See, I asked him if they break a lot of glass by accident. He's like, yeah, we do that. So, they have. Wow, that's cool. 绿茶杯. So this is called a 绿茶杯, like a standing teacup. And so this is like if you had like a typing 口灰 or like 这个泡那个 typing 口灰绿茶会很好。So he's like, you would have, you could put the leaves in straight up, so you'll have a better view of the leaves as they're steeping, especially for long, tall, big leaves. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. We were thinking of doing, we didn't do it this year, but they added extra glass to the bottom of this. Yeah. So by adding the extra glass at the bottom, it makes it feel more like sturdy, like it's a higher quality product because it's got more glass there, as opposed to these which don't have it. That's very cool. So I was saying for those cups, for these cups, we were thinking of doing a Taiping Hokui green tea this year, but we couldn't get it together in time, and Taiping Hokui is very expensive, so we definitely didn't want to do it badly and charge people money. So in the end, we didn't do it. But one of the reasons why we didn't do it is because in order to really drink it right, you want to have a tall glass like this, and this is an unusual sort of glass that we don't think many people will have. So we were trying to come up with a way of doing a combo where you could get the special glass and the tea together in a box, but then we need to package them and design packaging. It turned out to be too much work. So we dropped that plan, but maybe we're going to do it next year. Trash Artist says if I like pomegranate, I do. Yeah. So he said this has this has an integrated filter of glass, and so that he said the technique of being able to add that is very, very difficult. 所以这个大概是你觉得你的工厂有几个工人有这个能力是能加的？哇 ，very very cool。成本力很低，里面那个。对。经过热熔胶粘上去的。哇，这个哇，所以。Yeah, so very cool. So he said they only have 2 people at the factory that have the skill to be able to make that. Very, very cool. Very cool. Xavier says, wow, that makes sense for nice long leaves. You want to see them, especially that tea. If you search Taiping Hokui, you'll see what I'm talking about. It really is pretty cool. 所以这个茶壶，我看到你有几个这个也算电磁炉吗？还是电陶炉？这个电陶炉，对，你们也做是吧？对，其实我们也在找人，有可能那个可以找一下他的信息，我们有可能可以，做那个电陶炉。
但是这个在美国它能够插吗？这个头啊，它是
这个头是能插。Yeah, we can do that. That in America we can sell that plug. Oh, that's true. I was thinking maybe we could get some of these, but the
这是220伏的，美国应该是120。
我们110。那这the voltage and wattage is maybe not right. We would need to look into that.
这个功率不一样。
功率不一样。
Yeah, 功率可能不一样嘛。但这个 so what kind of I'm asking what kind of glass you can put on these things. 所以这个玻璃是可以放那个什么电陶炉就随便可以放吗？
对，煮开水的。
对，这个如果是有这个，对，哇，这个玻璃壶。如果是有这个玻璃壶，然后放在一个普通的一个，比如说那个电磁炉，不行的是吧？它会裂吗？这个电陶炉和那个电磁炉怎么不一样？
就里面的一些那个线路跟电路板，主要就是晶板不一样。上面这个晶板不一样的。
He's like, I was asking what's the difference between this and say like a burner that you'd have on a stove, and he's just like it's different. So I don't know exactly how they're different, you know. 煮白茶的 yeah. So you say that everybody's saying this is a good one for making white tea.
开的话，它20分钟自动会断掉，就不会操作不好。
对。So he's like they design them so that if you leave the room after 20 minutes, yeah, it's got a whole bunch of different settings. And then if you leave the room for more than 20 minutes and it's nothing's on it, it eventually just turns off by itself. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. Awesome. All right. And then, of course, everywhere in China, you got a tea table. You got to have one here if you're going to be making glass stuff. 所以就觉得这个每个地方都有茶盘，就是感觉福建之类的人家都有茶盘，甚至不是一个玻璃工厂，可能还是有茶盘，是吧？ Yeah, I was like, even if you guys were in a glass factory, they might have a tea table here. Very, very cool. 200-pound penguin says, that's cool, big up from Antarctica. I don't know if what's more likely, that you're actually a 200-pound penguin or you're actually in Antarctica, but both are pretty cool. 真好，真不错。我看一下，这个有没有什么？这个都是比较厚的玻璃是吧？
这个就不是高硼硅的，这个是我们那个合作厂家放在我们这边的样子。
哦，是吧？
对。
So these are wow, that looks pretty cool. 这个可以考虑做一个银的，这个 like thick glass. 对。And then they got like gold in the bottom, couple different things that they've done here. Very, very cool display cases. I kind of like that. I wonder what these sort of frosted glass things would look like with the tea in there. I wonder. Interesting. Maybe we should give that a try. 这种Alex 这种喷砂的那个玻璃，你那边有样品吗？我就好奇这个倒了茶的可能是什么感觉？
倒过去就变成透明的，如果干然后水慢慢干掉，它就变成这个颜色。哇！等一下
我
们可以泡一下茶，就看一下。Yeah. I'm just kind of curious about. So this is the whole point of coming to these places. You see a sample, you're like, I wonder what that looks like with tea in it, and then we can just do it right here. And so they're going to be able to make us some tea and sit it down. 对。看一下有没有足够的茶水，我们再泡一壶。
卸下去就好了。
没有。
这些。
There you go, careful. Yeah, that's interesting.
你加下去。
就加。
你放在灯光
It's
上。
kind of cool. So that's kind of like what it looks like. What do you think these look? Does that look cool? Yeah. I mean, if you put light through it, it's going to look cool no matter what. 可以了，挺好的。Very, very cool. MOQ for custom orders. 你们一般来说这个订货的起量是多少？
像这种
我就每个产品不一样吗？还是？
基本上都是1000个。
1000个 yeah. He said this factory in general, you need to order 1,000 units to start making stuff. In my experience, it really can depend. They could tell you 1,000 but not take the job unless it's 5,000, or they could tell you 1,000, you say I want 100, and they're like, we'll do it. It really depends on how they feel. Every factory is different. 我也喜欢这种什么，这个上面有一个金属的框，
描金的，
描金的，这个描金的，
那个24赫里真金的，
对，24克，那是吗？ Wow. So they said this is 24K karat gold on the top of the cup. Yeah. But he's like they're not actually that expensive though, because they don't use that much gold. But that looks pretty good though. I think I like that cup. Which cup did you guys like? Thomasine says beautiful. I wouldn't mind hosting tea with some of those. Are you talking about the frosted glass or the gold rimmed glass cup? I think this one looks really nice. We met these silversmiths in Heqing. In Yunnan, like last week, I was in the silversmithing town, and I was talking with one of their silver guys about maybe collaborating on doing like a silver-rimmed glass or something like that. Glass is kind of hard because it's like the difference between the lower quality glass and the higher quality glass. It's like how many people who are buying tea stuff really care so much that they're going to want higher quality glass and pay more money for it. It's kind of confusing to be able to explain to people. So it's like, because most people are just like glass, it's clear. It's like clear or very clear. They're both clear. So the thing is that if you can add something like silver, like real silver or real gold to the top, I think that clearly is a reason why this cup is like kind of special. You know what I mean? 这个杯子很好，这个杯子那个烫金的那个。描金的，描是那个描，
提手旁一个草，
提手旁一个描绘的描。I'm trying to ask what they said. This is called 描金, meowing the gold, and I'm like, which meow character is the meow? Because I hadn't heard that word before. But these look really good. 这种描金的杯子你也卖吗？
有卖啊。
我们这儿可以看一下。这个我喜欢这个花纹，我觉得这个花纹很好看的。好的， 这些花纹的你已经有样品吗？还是我们拿一个样品回去？
你说我等下仓库那边拿，那新的
这个仓库有。
这个仓库有是吧？可以看一下。对。
这个也可以写字。
对，这也可以写是吧？对，这个也 I'm thinking maybe making these with some calligraphy on them. That would be pretty nice. These are pretty good. They say they can laser etch whatever you want onto that, so pretty cool. 我喜欢这个花纹，这个花纹还比较好，还有这杯子大小也大了一点也好。Yeah, that's pretty cool. 因为这玻璃的这个还得留足够的空间，或者是做那个双层玻璃才行。因为就是如果你是这么拿着，这茶会很烫。
拿上面一点慢慢开。
对，所以 I was like, I like having the little extra room on these glass ones because, it's you know, if this is hot tea and you grip it from there, you're going to be hot. Yeah.
有时候这个筋它会掉。
对，
用久了就
其实我觉得
对
筋掉了，人家会觉得这个喝下去会有对身体有害。
哦，是吗？对。
所以这个很多人就不喜欢做成描筋，干净一点。
对。So he's saying that one of the problems is that if the gold does wind up chipping or anything like that, people are worried that they could ingest it, and so that's a concern with this type of product, which is pretty proper. But very cool. We have Josh Heath says black tea infused with dry sage is a traditional tea of Palestine. I did not know that. Prepared for centuries and is known as Shaybil Maramia. Very cool. Lots of different tea cultures. Thomasine says the way Chinese and Japanese, although China's enjoy the Chinese sentiment a bit more naturally. Tea is very different from here in the West, much higher quality, much more care. Not things to rush and just take it slow. Drink in a big hurry. Got to savor and appreciate. I think said very well. As you can see here, we kind of unintentionally just kind of wound up sitting down. It's nice. Oh yeah, he's like they have tea outside, so we're gonna go and maybe have a little bit of tea and then wrap up the live stream. Very good, awesome. Mech Music says if it's real gold, you'll be fine ingesting it. All the bougie places, good gold leaf all over their food for no reason. That's a good point. It's got to be gold leaf. I mean, it's got to be the same thing that they're putting on the food. They're not putting real gold there. Oh, this is cool. They got like little stones. And this is a nicer tea area. It's raining outside, but you can see the whole of the factory. Oh, it's raining. Very cool. Hey, 这个有趣. He's like, check out our water spout. We got a dragon head water spout. 这个很酷。可以了。这你平时爱喝什么茶？
我们这边大红袍，
六宝，这个就是烟盒的一个六宝是吧？那个盒子我能看吗？ I like that. This is funny. This is like it's tea that kind of looks like a cigarette case, but it's not a cigarette case. It's just tea. Black Diamond Liubao. Oh yeah, 13 grams. We have Liubao tea. Very cool. There's a lot of really cool packaging like this that we could do, but it's like kind of a waste of packaging. It's like a lot of paper and stuff. Although, maybe, I don't know how many smokers there are left in America, but there's not as many people here. Tempani says, love from Australia. Can't wait to get the starter set and sampler coming to mail. Thank you so much. It's doubly for our friends from Australia for paying that high shipping. I had an hour-and-a-half meeting last night with a company that knows the import laws for Australia. I'm trying to set up a warehouse in Australia so that we can send the stuff to you directly. And then when you would purchase it, it would be whatever, 2-day shipping or whatever from within Australia. If I do that, you guys got to help me out by buying more stuff because it's a huge expense. The market size in Australia, from what we've seen, is not big enough to really do it, but I don't know what the market size is because I would also not buy a lot of tea and tea stuff if I had to pay $60, $70 to ship everything. But it's, biosecurity makes sense. But luckily, the tea is not actually a huge concern. The bigger problem is the taxes and the other environmental, kind of, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to have everything set up before you start. So we're figuring out a way to do it. It was an exhausting call. I've learned so much about importing and responsible person laws. And it's funny, it's like the law says you have to have a responsible person, and this is a very complicated thing. Meanwhile, everybody who's selling tea, I'm not gonna say everybody, but like you ask people around China, like, how do you do it? They're like, oh, we'll just send it. We don't do this. Like they don't do any of the, I'm not gonna call it any names because I want tea to grow, and it is hard to do this, but the law is not really set up in a way that makes it easy to do tea internationally, and we're trying to figure out ways of getting stuff done better. So we're figuring it out. Just me complaining a bit. We're almost ready to have some tea now, so very, very cool.我们就喝一杯茶就可以了，可以了，挺好的，就可以休息一下。Very, very cool. So yeah, 可以啊。他们远吗？可以约一下，可以，很近，那就好。Very cool. Very cool. So we got our tea coming here. We're gonna make a little bit of tea in a moment. Hope you guys have enjoyed the live stream and the tour of the glass factory. If you guys don't know and you just kind of randomly wound up on the stream, I'm Jesse. I run a tea company. I'm in China right now, checking out our suppliers and making sure that everybody's doing what they say they're doing. Finding new products that we can put up on the site. It's way easier to innovate when you're here because you can go to the glass guy and like see the factory and then say, hey, have you done anything interesting recently? And they have all the stuff that they've made, and you can pick the stuff you want. You can find how to customize it. You can figure out how to do it. It's pretty crazy. Alina Adler says, have organic tea that you import. Some of the tea, we have teas that fit organic certifications, but most of the Chinese tea farmers don't care about Western organic certifications, and so even the tea that is organic, they just don't go through the problems with getting the paperwork for it because the Chinese consumers don't care about the Western organic certifications, and the Western people don't care about the Chinese organic certifications. But the answer is some of the teas are going to be organic standard, and all of the teas are really good. But we haven't gone through the problems of getting that paperwork either because we communicate with the farmers directly, and so we know how good the tea is because we've been to the mountain. Cheers. Oh baby. I like this. People say I like the green handled glass. It looked like a green tea leaf. We got the green handle there. Have a little bit of tea. 对，泡得很，这个也汤色很深，挺好的。Looks like really good. 这是大红袍是吧？
六宝。
哦，六宝，这是刚刚打开的那个六宝是吧？对对对。This is the 六宝 tea. I love 六宝. Very, very good. Very good. Alex G says they brought a starter set with a sample kit a few months ago back and had time only for a few cups of tea. Just wondering the tea isn't going to go bad, right? No, actually, almost all that tea will actually get better the longer you steep it, so you don't need to worry about it. The exception being the green tea that's in the sampler, and as long as you don't open it and break the airtight seal, that'll still stay fresh for quite a while. So, cheers. 这个好. Xavier says it would up the price for us if it were certified. It would. Mostly not even because the certifications are expensive. It's just like my time is very like, it's the time involved to do it. The time, this, that, proof of this, proof of that, get the certification, get it all done. It takes months and months and months. And it doesn't make the tea any more tasty, and it doesn't change the situation the tea was grown in. I think if you were going to a farmer that had not been doing organic and wanted to switch them to organic, then it really would make sense. Because basically you'd be able to use the organic, and this is why those certifications are useful. I'm not saying they're not useful. It's useful because you can come in from outside and you can say, we want these things to be done to a certain standard or else we can't work with you. And the moment that we get that certification, we know you've done your work. It's not like we have to trust you or whatever. You have a third party come in and check. That's a good way of doing things. There is a little bit of neo-colonialism in this, though, in the sense that, who makes these certifications? The people, the rich people. The rich people in the rich markets get to decide what is and isn't good enough. The people have been growing tea here for 2,000 years, and now all of a sudden somebody knows how to grow tea properly, and you need to get a Western company to come in and have Westerners go and look at it so Westerners feel comfortable with something that Chinese people have been doing for 2,000 years. I think that's kind of messy, but the concept behind it makes sense, and we're going to need stuff like that in the world if we're going to be able to move forward. But for tea in particular, it's kind of like, you know, this is not like, you know, it's not, I don't know. I have issues with it, but also there's good stuff. Bladefinger says, I love your college channel so much. Broke college students saving money to buy a tea set and sampler from you. Can't wait. Cheers. Go in with a friend. The samplers are $40. If you split them 20-20, you get, there's 8 teas in there and there's 2 of each of them. So you each get 1 of the teas if you split it halfway. We are working to get more sets onto the website as well, and trying to improve our logistics so we can bring down the prices of the existing sets. We're trying to work on that. Xavier says we're getting more tea resin later months. Subscribe. You definitely want to subscribe to the channel. And we are going to be getting more tea resin. Anton Palea says, hey Jesse, nice to see you in live pop-up on my feed. You inspired me to get into tea and help me quit cigarettes. Dude, cheers. Even if that's the only thing tea does for you, it's going to be really healthy. Might help you live a little bit longer. And it's like, you know, it's addicting in its own way. I don't know. I've never been a cigarette smoker, but I think you'll be much better off drinking tea every day than doing tons and tons of cigarettes. Alrighty, I think we're about to get going. One last cup of tea here with the boss, and then I'm going to film some background video. If you have not subscribed already to the channel, please do. And then if you guys want, Bladefinger says a great idea. I'll patiently wait for new sets. You should, although I don't know if we're coming out with anything cheaper than what we have right now. We're going to add more in the middle and high end. For the cheap sets, I really recommend you and a friend, $75, you can get the 2-cup travel teapot set and a sampler for $75. Split between 2 people, that's like not that bad. I think you can make it work. Also, if you're at a college, you can like start a tea club and get money from your college to like buy tea, which we have a couple tea clubs where we give them like, they're like, we need $500 or whatever you want. And I'm just like, oh, here's what you guys want for $500. A couple sets, a couple samplers, a bag of this, a bag of that, a couple teapots. The college pays for everything. So you look into that. I don't know what college you're at, but a lot of colleges have money for that sort of stuff. So Jillian Flav says, excited ordering a tea sampler as a college graduation gift for myself. Excited. That was literally the first thing I bought after college. I moved to China, and the first day that I was in China, I bought a tea table, and the second day I bought an electric bike, and my life has been on the come up ever since then. Very, very cool. Alrighty, I think it's time to get going. Thank you all for watching. 我们再次感谢一下那个陈老师，给我们带一下这个玻璃厂。Thank you so much to Chen Lao Shi for taking us around. If you guys want any tea or tea stuff, jesseseouts.com. It's on the site. We have lots of stuff in stock, and we're always finding new products. There's going to be a bunch of new stuff coming on the site in 2 or 3 months after this trip, so it's going to be a lot of fun. Awesome. Have a good one, and enjoy. Bye-bye.